In today's episode of the Pathway Presents podcast, I got a very interesting guest here with me today. I'm with Cris Huertas, who is hailing over from the folks over at Morgana. And basically, there he's focused on, driving the vision for the business. Obviously, driving, they just recently closed a round, raising money and basically evangelizing the market, right? So let's talk about Morgana today with Cris Huertas. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Lucas, for your time. We hope this adds value to your audience.
Of course. So maybe give them a quick overview first. What is Morgana all about in your own words?
So Morgana, it's reshaping the mortgage industry in Latin America. We are a digital mortgage broker that will shortly be competing with banks. So right now we are a mortgage broker and we are going to become a mortgage lender in the near future. We offer a digital process for people to acquire their mortgages. Faster than anyone in the market, actually 5 times faster than anyone in the market. And even though we work directly with banks to promote their mortgages, when people do their process with us, we made it through the bank 6 times faster than going directly with the bank. So it's a proposition of both comparing all of the options on the market and being the fastest and the quickest in the most important financial decision that you will ever take, that is basically taking a mortgage.
Yep, makes complete sense. Now, you mentioned Latin American market. Is there, how would you describe the user, right? Is that, tell me, who's an ideal customer using the platform?
So mortgages, the average ticket of mortgages will depend, of course, depending on the country in Latin America. So, for example, here in Mexico, an average mortgage is about $100,000. In Colombia, it's about $50,000. So it depends on of course, on the country. But basically, most of the people that are willing to buy a home or that decided to buy a home are people that are in their 30s or in their 40s, right? They got married. Or they got into a financial position where they felt ready in order to purchase. Some other people also do the math and saw that probably what they spent at rent could be spent at a mortgage payment, basically. But it's people after their 30s, basically, willing to do the most adult thing that you will do in your life, that it's not getting married, but getting a home.
Very, very much true. So what brought you into the business? What was the idea? What was the spark to drive up Morgana?
I tried to get a mortgage and it was painful. Actually, I was on that moment of my life that I decided to buy a home. It was like my child was 1 year old, and I decided that it was time, to build something for us and for him. And I started the process. I came from trying to transform several other business models in fintech, but I never saw that mortgages were that were lagging behind compared to several other, fintech or financial services. So when I saw that I had to sign a form, that the form was 7 pages long, that the bank that owns all of my information was asking me lots of information that they already have, that getting just the approval of my bank was hard. It took almost a month. And to get an approval from another bank that doesn't have my information, it will take about a month and a half. So maximizing that decision, which is the most important financial decision, because of the size of the money that will take, it was very hard. So that's how I decided to build a company around mortgages.
Makes sense. Now, how do people hear about Morgana these days? What are the buying journey that they're going through?
So there are 2 ways in which they hear about us. So first of all, of course, SEO, SEM, right? So social media, of course. We have a very powerful team of marketers trying to make some noise to communicate all of the advantages of our product. That right now it's our larger acquisition channel, but we are also on a B2B2C strategy where we work directly with realtors, developers in a kind of embedded mortgage product, and they help us promote our product. It's super helpful for them because the process with us is faster. So we have both channels.
Very good. What we mentioned actually SEO content there. Like, what role does the website play? You know, morgana.mx for everybody who is listening in. What role does the website play for you in terms of client acquisition?
So first of all, it's evangelization, right? Because most people, when they do the math about getting a mortgage, they realize that it's not that far from paying rent, at least here in Mexico City, where prices have skyrocketed. So when you do the math, it's not that far to pay for a mortgage to pay a rent. So it's to get that realization, right? To also help them navigate all of the offers that there are in the market, which is something it's very blurred, right? Because the offers that the banks have are very difficult to compare. They offer you a rate, but on the other side, they charge you lots of fees that you can't compare directly. So we help our customers do a rightful comparison of offers. And that's basically it, to help them, you know, have the best offer in the market and also realize that getting a mortgage is quite easy.
Very good. Let's switch gears a little bit as we're slowly wrapping it up, talking about Morgana today. So you're obviously, you know, building up the company. Now, where do you personally like to educate yourself, right? There's so much information out there for, you know, founders and business leaders. Like, where do you find high quality information for yourself to grow?
And so my email, it's full of newsletters that I enjoy a lot, right? So and also some podcasts that I hear in my commute. 20VC, I love that podcast. On lectures, so to have a grasp of what's going on around the world, I read The Economist. Also for more of the VC content or startup content, TechCrunch, Sifted, also, and my LinkedIn is also very active. So I just try to, you know, to swipe around my LinkedIn and find information there. Crunchbase is also a good place in order to find information and some specialized information around the market here in Mexico.
Cool. I got some rapid fire questions to wrap it up for today. So what is the last book that you read?
Oof, the hard thing about hard things. I love that book. I love it. I love it. So many people tell you about how they get things right, but not when they fucked up, right? And that's the amazing thing about that book.
What's one single thing that your company is focused on the most at the moment?
Mortgage approvals. Mortgage approvals. There are many phases in the process. Mortgage approval is not the last one. It's in kind of the middle of the process because then you have the formalization. But when people realize that they have money on their back to buy a property, then the process it's faster for them and for us. So mortgage approvals.
What's the last thing that kept you awake at night about the company?
So we are way beyond the numbers that we promised, and now I'm trying to focus on how make the company grow 10 times faster than when we promised in our round. So it's not about how we are going to get to 1,000 mortgages, how we're going to get to 100,000 mortgages. To give you an idea, a year banks sign here in Mexico 130,000 mortgages. So it's huge to think about that number.
Last question. What would be the one advice to yourself if you would restart Morgana today? So it's your first day working on the project. What's the one advice you would give yourself?
people first.
Makes a whole lot of sense. Very good, Cris. I really appreciate you joining us today and shared the story and the growth of Morgana with us. I want to give you the very last word. If people would be forgetting all that we discussed about Morgana, what's the one thing people should remember?
Morgana is the best way to get the best mortgage offer in the market.
Thanks a lot for being a guest on Pathway Presents.
Thank you, Lucas.